Welcome to Transmissions. On this special episode, I'm joined by Mariano from Dynamite Entertainment and the man who started it all, Mr. Bob Budiansky, to discuss the Kickstarter for the Transformers 40th Anniversary trading cards. Let's get into it. Welcome to another Transmissions podcast. We've got a real special one for you tonight. I am joined by Mariano from Dynamite. They make comics and awesome stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. One of the great Kickstarters going on. And the other guy, he doesn't need much of an introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's Bob Budiansky. And he kind of started the Transformers for us. He created all the characters we know and love. So I mean, we don't really need to introduce Bob too much here. We know him, and all right. So welcome, guys. Welcome to Transmissions, and we're gonna get started. We're gonna talk about the Transformers 40th Anniversary limited edition trading cards Kickstarter that you guys have got going on. And we're going to take a look at the offering that you guys have up. And I mean, holy crap, you guys have got one hell of a Kickstarter going here. It even, you guys have changed up the thing. It says it was funded in minutes. It looks like it was like, you guys are killing it with this thing. I'm really impressed. The stuff you guys are offering is insane. So I'm really interested to talk about what you guys have coming and see what kind of, what's packed in all this stuff. So Mariano, let's talk first. What's up with this?
Darryl, pleasure to be here with you. Pleasure to be here with your fans. And I will reveal all in this interview. There will be no stone left unturned.
Fantastic.
So, yes, Transformers 40th anniversary. I'm working with Dynamite Entertainment. Dynamite Entertainment and Dynamic Forces, pop culture company, memorabilia, signed material, just a collectibles company. So our owner, our chief guru, Nick Barucci, spoke to Hasbro, wanted to work more closely with Hasbro, and the opportunity came up for us to do something with the Transformers license, and especially revolving around this big 40th anniversary. So all of this actually began, believe it or not, about a year ago now that we've been working on all this. And working very closely with Hasbro and trying to follow their wishes and their desires for the fans, things that they knew the fans would get excited about. So to that end, from the very beginning, from the inception of all this, we were going to focus on 1984, the origins of the Transformers, not just as toys, but also in the storylines, what was shaped and crafted in the comic books back in the 80s. And the minute I heard that, there were two folks that came to mind. And the very first one is right here with us tonight. Bob and I worked together back in the day at Marvel in the 90s. And
really?
Bob,
Amazing.
well, I've known Bob. He wasn't kidding. I've known him for a long time. But above and beyond that, before I met him, before I knew him, he had been the key person, instrumental in shaping everything we know about the Transformers today. Like the things you see in the movies, the things you see in other comics, all of it had its seminal beginnings with the work that Bob did. So from the beginning, we decided to focus on the origins of Transformers, and to that end, Bob came on board, Simon Furman came on board, and they have been incredibly generous with their time and their talent. Bob is doing original art for us. Bob is doing original sketch cards. Bob has written some of the cards from his perspective and his knowledge. And Bob has opened his vault of artwork from back in the 80s, stuff that has never seen print.
Wow.
So this trading card set, you said it is full of surprises and full of goodies.
Hmm. Yeah, well, that's awesome. And Bob, we're just, I mean, I want to say a lot of people, like everybody's, in the fandoms kind of, it's kind of known now that you kind of came up with like hundreds of characters over the course of your career writing for the Transformers comics, and uh you wrote what was it, 51 issues of the book, back and forth. I think there might have been two in the middle there that you didn't write, but about 50 issues or so that you wrote. And then but a lot of people don't credit you as an artist, and there's a bunch of books that you're an artist on, and including the Transformers ones. Yeah, there's other ones too. I love pointing out that you were the artist on Uncanny X-Men number 120, which is a very famous cover of the for the X-Men books. But the Transformers books have a lot of your covers of them on them, and it's amazing that it makes perfect sense that Mariano would have you on here as doing art duties as well. It's fantastic. I love this.
Well, first, happy to be on the show, and thank you for that wonderful build up to me. And I'm not sure I can take as much credit as you're giving me, but I'll take some credit. Mariano, am I allowed to show him any of the cards?
Of course you are.
I think I have here, but you mentioned.
Oh my gosh, I want to see these. Yeah, bring them out.
So actually, I have a comic book.
You're Transformers royalty. You could do whatever you want.
Here's an example of the fact that I actually did do artwork for the Transformers. I drew.
Yeah, that's the issue with the scraplets.
Card.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just one example. But anyway, mostly I'm known as a writer on the Transformers and somebody who developed all the characters back in the 80s, or most of the characters. But on occasion, I would do some covers, and if I didn't draw the covers myself, frequently I would do a sketch for somebody else to draw the cover on the books that I wrote. So that really goes under the radar. You don't get a cover credit for doing the sketch that somebody else draws. But since I was the writer of the book and I had some art skills, rather than explain what the cover should look like, I would just say, here, this is what I want it to look like. It would go to the editor of the comic book. And once the editor approved it, it would go to the whoever the pencil artist was. So I drew about 5 or 6 covers over my tenure on the Transformers. I probably sketched out another 20 to 30 of them for other artists.
Wow. Yeah. Look at this guy being humble, saying he had some art skills. This is a full-on legit artist here. Like, yeah, I could sketch a little. That's I doodle. Yeah. No, you're a very talented artist, Bob. That's you're underestimating yourself here. No, I'm very interested. You have some cards. I'm very curious to see some of these.
Grab something.
So,
hold on.
We're going to dive into the Kickstarter and exactly what's included on each side here. But yeah, if you've got some cards, I definitely want to see them.
So first, I have. That's Headmasters #1 cover.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, Headmasters #1
cover. I also wrote the miniseries, the 4-issue miniseries on Headmasters, and then let's find another example. Okay, here's the card. Oops. Here's the card of the comic book cover I just showed you.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Scraplet.
And then I also did original sketches for the card set. And so Mariano took it upon himself to take the black and white versions of the sketches before I did coloring on these sketches as well. But so here's an original sketch of
that's a nice one. Yeah.
And so they made cards out of this, which I am autographing. I've autographed.
That's amazing.
Of these. So that's an example of one of the cards. There's a few others. Let's see. I'll show you one more. One more example of that. Okay, here's another sketch card that gets autographed. Your friend and mine, Bumblebee. Okay.
Yeah.
In any case, so those are among the things that I got involved with. Dynamic Forces would print up these cards, and Mariano would send me batches of them to autograph. In addition, I did those original sketches, so there are original sketch cards inserted in a random assortment of the cards. I can't even begin to explain how they're done. Mariano's explained it to me many times, and every time he starts talking about it, I just take a little nap. It's just hard for me to follow all of the way they put these card sets together and market them these days. Oh, actually, here's that Bumblebee I just showed you. This will be an interesting comparison. So here's the Bumblebee black and white inked printed card.
Yep.
Here's the original in color.
Oh, very cool.
So that's the same. That's exactly the same card, except this one I've colored. So this is the original coloring, the original inking, the original card. This card will be inserted into a pack of cards, right, Mariano?
That's very cool. Yeah.
That card is technically a sketch card because you're right, an original art card. And because it is a Bob card, it is going to be one of select cards that are included as box toppers in the Deluxe Ultra Premium set. So all the work is being used, all the work is being separated and spread out depending on what the actual package is. But this is stuff you're seeing live, which is real and going to end up in packs. Someone at some point is going to open a box and get that card.
That's awesome. They're all one of ones too. Like that's great. I love it.
Here's another example. This is who is this? This I don't know who is it. Somebody I drew.
That's Jazz.
Jazz. All right. Okay. Yep. Here's the color version. The actual original. Oops. There.
It's always hard to do. Yeah. There you go.
I get confused. Yeah. So there it is. The original colored version of it. So anyway, that's another example of an original.
Fantastic.
And I could flash more, but I don't want to bore the audience too much. So here's a couple more.
It wouldn't be a bore. Oh my goodness. Grimlock, Starscream. Oh my gosh. These are just a feast for the eyes, Bob.
So hopefully this is getting a few of the fans out there salivating. I'll be the lucky one to pick up that card out of the box topper or whatever it's called. But good luck with that. That's going to be it's going to be very few and far between, right, Mariano? Find those cards.
You're going to be out there, my friend.
They'll be out there.
You're going to be out there.
Yeah. So anyway, those are the various ways I've gotten involved with working on the set. I don't know. Was that kind of I don't remember what your original question was.
Mariano said you wrote some stuff too. So
yeah, he. I mean, just as a little anecdote, I remember one day he called me up and he said, "Bob, I need you to write the back of a half a dozen cards, and I need them right now because the cards have to go somewhere. I don't know where." And I said, "Mariano, I'm getting on a train right now, and I'm going into New York City. I live outside of New York, so I'm going into New York City. I'll tell you what, I'll write them on the train and I'll text them to you." So every 5 minutes on the train ride, I was 10 minutes. I was like, "Okay, here's another one, Mariano. Here's another one." So I don't even remember what else I wrote, Mariano, besides that half a dozen. But those stuck in my mind because I had to make sure to get them to Mariano before the train entered the tunnel under the Hudson River. So and then he wouldn't be able to transmit. So I got him out.
That's fantastic.
Worked like a charm.
That's right. Yes.
Well, let's get back to Mariano here because Mariano, I want to get into the Kickstarter because right here on the main page, I'm looking at it right now. You've got 2 ways to collect, and I want to get into the traditional collector series because, frankly, it's the easier one to get into. It's a little cheaper, and the kind of I would say entry point. Like if you're walking into, it's more, let's say, closer to what you'd walk into like a local card shop and you'd see kind of set up in as a pack of cards kind of a deal. So walk me through the setup there for that.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So in creating all this and coming up with the concepts, yes, we definitely wanted to satisfy the casual fan, casual buyer, and yes, you're 100% correct. It is the collector set is set up, designed, and geared like traditional trading card sets. This particular case, there are 110 base cards, and we've also developed 110 parallel foil cards, and we've developed some other chase sets, some of which are the aforementioned signed Bob and Simon cards, and some other bells and whistles. They're all listed there on that
Mhm.
front page.
That's right.
But essentially, it is a traditional trading card set. You can you're going to have 24 packs to a box, and you're guaranteed the base set 110 cards within that 24 pack box, and then you get whatever other extras are there, extra chase cards, extra whatever we've thrown in will be
Yeah.
included in those packs. But essentially, for one box, you're definitely ending up with the complete 110 card base set, and
Wow.
that's the
Fantastic.
collector set.
So then you've got the other side of the coin here, where you've
Right.
got the deluxe ultra premium series. And I mean, if the traditional collector series is the casual, then the deluxe ultra premium series are the hardcores. These are the people who are they're
Correct.
in it, and they know that the sketch cards, and they want those the sign cards, and they don't want to waste time. They don't want to chance it. They want the stuff. This is the set for them, right?
Correct. So there are three types of premiums, three types of extras that we threw into the collector set: sketch cards, signed cards, and metal cards. So those are randomly inserted, and you're going to get something guaranteed in every box. But again, it's a randomized uh, insertion. Machine randomized insertions for these things. When it comes to the deluxe ultra premium set, that's something that, again, I'll bring up Nick Barucci, the owner of Dynamite, because he's very much a visionary, and he runs an organization where he's open to ideas and constant input and constant churning of thoughts and ideas. So back in 2018, I'm going to say, we developed a new type of format, and it was a type of format that would guarantee a high-end collector guaranteed goodies in every pack. There wouldn't be, yes, there's going to be a little randomization, but there wouldn't be a hunt for the specifics I just talked about that are
Yeah.
randomized in the collector set. So these deluxe sets are designed with a limited number of base cards, and then the rest of the box, the rest of the package is filled with chase cards. So you're guaranteed 2 sketch cards, you're guaranteed a signed card, you're guaranteed a chase line art card, a chase connecting art card, and I think that's 7. I think it's 7 total in a, and it's packaged in a sliding tray mini box.
Oh.
And in that sliding tray is where the package, the foil pack is. So 12 of those. So everything's organized, everything's designed and geared so that 12 of these mini boxes are going to yield you the complete collector's deluxe ultra premium set.
Wow.
So yes, there's a high ticket to this stuff because every pack is guaranteed with material, and also it's a smaller, more limited print run for the series collectors because we're just simply not making that many of them. They're filled with so many chase cards that it's virtually impossible to mass produce these. So they're very limited in quantity. Again, something for the casual buyer, something for the serious high-end collector.
You can't imagine. You can't ask that. Bob Budiansky sketch a 2,000, 3,000 cards,
He's
right?
tried.
I've asked. I've asked. Don't get me wrong.
I know how to say no.
So I did see that like you have on top of Bob and Simon Furman, you have other creators involved with this as well, right?
Yes. At some point, someone thought it would be a good idea for there to be more signed cards, and in this case, they tapped me and some other artists that work with Dynamite. So there are a couple of signed cards out there that are going to be pencils by yours truly and inks by Joe Del Beato, very talented artist that I work with at Dynamite, and
Okay.
Wilson Ramos Jr., who not only is a talented artist and computer colorist, but he's also one of the designers on the sets. There are 3 different designers on this trading card, on all of these trading card sets combined. So there were designers doing packaging, there were designers doing collector set cards, and there were designers doing deluxe ultra premium cards. So everything has different designs. It obviously all pulls together, but
Sure.
there's a variety of design on top of everything else. Variety of characters, variety of writing. There's also a variety of design in these card sets.
Very good. I'm very excited about this. The I want to like, I mean, it's not even a like, I mean, I don't even feel like you even need to advertise anymore. Like this is a it's happening. It's already well past your requested goal. But the as someone who still feels like they want to walk into a store, and I mean, this is going to be a question that we would get asked, and I'm sure you've been asked this: is there a potential that this set or a variation of this set could see the light of day for a regular card shop?
It's a great question, and you're right. It has been asked, and the answer is deceptively simple. So Hasbro is a worldwide entity. Transformers is a worldwide phenomenon. So this crowdfunder, this Kickstarter, is certainly not the be all end all. The reason, so the short answer, yes, the collector set boxes are going to be available in stores. Yes, the deluxe ultra premium sets are going to be available in stores. From the inception of this Kickstarter, from the concept of it, we wanted to introduce material to a worldwide audience that wouldn't necessarily have accessibility around the world. Like you may
Gotcha.
be in Australia somewhere and you're miles from the nearest box store or the nearest hobby shop. So you can purchase it through Kickstarter and it can be mailed to your door. You may be in Idaho somewhere, and again, remote areas that may not necessarily have comic shops, collectible shops, places where you can actually go buy something, and we're gearing to that audience through Kickstarter. In addition to that, going back to the roots of Dynamic Forces and Dynamite, a collectibles company, we wanted to introduce material in a Kickstarter that would be new and fresh to the audience. So yes, you could have ordered a box from your local hobby shop, but if you want to buy the binder, or you want to buy a 5x7 sketch card, or a Gordon Purcell 9 connecting sketch card, or whatever, there are unique and exclusive goodies offered only in the Kickstarter. You're only going to find them in the Kickstarter, and they're never going to be sold in stores.
That's
So
true. And I was going to get to some of that stuff here because we've got you've got a couple other things, like you said, the binder, which is very cool, and some of that amazing artwork on there. So that G1 artwork, the box art is just that's, I mean, it's iconic artwork for those G1 boxes. And then like you said, you've got the Gordon Purcell original art that's been divided up into 9 cards, and that's a kind of a connecting set.
An homage
which
to
is
Bob Budiansky, by the way.
yeah,
It's
that's the
one of his
I can't remember what
covers.
cover that is, but that's the cover with the Piranacon chasing swimming after the lady
Yes,
in the water. I
yes.
can't remember what book that is though, but
50
I can't remember the
something.
issue.
50
Yeah,
something, 40 something. It's in the higher run of the comics.
yeah. One of the other hosts of the show would be able to nail it like that, but
47.
47.
I said
40.
40s. I said somewhere in the 40s. I
You
was
did.
so
You were
close.
high up there.
So
Yeah, there
close,
you go.
Bob.
Yeah,
One.
yeah.
Another
That's
card.
the
There
one.
you go.
Another one I
Another
drew.
card.
Another cover I drew.
Yep. Yep. So we've got that one, and that's another great addition. And then you've got the yeah. So then uh, and the stretch goals are the other ones that I just wanted to kind of touch on. And these are other art cards, box art that we've got. The stretch goal that I mean, you probably annihilated this one. Your first stretch goal was probably destroyed within the first like day, and that was the art cards for the box art of Optimus and Megatron, and then Bumblebee and Starscream was the second stretch goal, and you have the following stretch goal of number 3 being Mirage and Soundwave, which you have passed, and you're getting close on this fourth stretch goal, which is super duper secret. So
No,
I'm
not
hoping.
anymore. Today we released a flyer. We released an announcement, and I
Oh,
think if I refresh the page here, it'll be revealed.
oh, I'm looking. It's still saying secret on my screen here. So
So it has to be updated. It
yeah.
needs to be updated. There's a press release that's gone out or going out. Maybe I'm giving away information here. The
Oh,
next two have been revealed, but we're going to keep it a little secret. So may I add to this?
go, please, please, please
Okay.
do. Yeah.
So I was touting the designers, some very talented designers joined in on all this, and everyone's a collector. Everyone's a collector. Everyone's a fan. So whenever I approach any of these trading card sets for Dynamite, I'm in the back of my mind from the get go. I'm saying, okay, this is going to end up in a binder with plastic sleeves with 9 slots per sleeve, and that's how this is going to live. That's how I'm going to enjoy it, thumbing through a binder, right?
Yep.
So to that end, we design 9 card connecting puzzles. We design, whenever possible, 9 card chase sets or 6 card chase sets that I know are going to fit comfortably on one page.
Mm-hmm.
So the stretch goals are no different. We have now 7 and 8 that are being revealed. We
Mm-hmm.
won't say the names now, but it's going to be out there. There's a press release out there. It's within 24 hours. Probably by the time you finish editing this, the 4th stretch goal will be posted on that
Okay,
page.
perfect.
So, but we've reached that limit now. We're now we've got a sleeve full of cards, and they're all that vintage clay stock 1970s, 1980s look and feel, which is kind
Mm-hmm.
of unique. And again, everyone's going to get them for free, which is the part I love, that we're able to give out some free stuff to everybody. So now the next round of stretch goals, folks have been asking for, okay, what's next? What else can you do? So we are going to reveal a different set of stretch goals. And I don't want to give the surprise. I'm going to get myself in trouble. So let me just say that for the folks that have been asking for something different, they're going to get something different. And I'm going to leave it at that, Darryl. I'm done.
All
Shut
right.
my mouth. I'm not
No,
saying anything
I
more.
love it.
Surprise is
I love
coming.
it.
Surprise is coming.
I love
Can I
it.
give a
All
little
right. No.
historical perspective on all of this, Mariano and Darryl?
Yeah, please.
Mariano was talking about the 9 interlocking cards that fit into the sleeve of a binder. So I could be wrong, but I suspect Mariano was inspired by this. The Danger Room, 9 interlocking cards from the 1992 Jim Lee illustrated X-Men set, which I was the creative director and editor of. And it was my idea.
And I was the guy
Yep.
fetching his coffee and making the paper copies on the Xerox machine.
Probably.
And look all I've learned. Look at what I've learned.
Yes. And it took us a while to get off that coffee stain from the artwork, but we did. So thank you. That was the original comic book related nine interlocking card set, as far as I know. Before that, nobody had done it. And it worked out brilliantly. Jim Lee's a brilliant artist.
Well,
But,
I mean, that was the
Transformers.
Yeah, no, I remember back when I was collecting comics, there were chunks of 4 of cards from a different company. Obviously, it was doing them at the time, but chunks of 4 cards in one comic. And I thought, there's 4 cards here, but they're all in one picture. And I thought that's really cool. And then when I started buying the packs of cards, I realized there's much more to this picture. And I thought this was amazing. I got to get the rest of this set. And it sparked that part in my brain that just I kept feeding. And obviously from the looks of this room, I'm still feeding that monster. But yeah, no, that's a great idea. I love that. You know, the Gordon Purcell piece is one of those kind of things as well. You know, you can break that stuff up and make a great image. And yeah, I'll fill binders all day long of 9-piece pieces of the cards making art. I love it. No, that's great.
Both the collector set and the deluxe ultra premium set feature similar 9-card connecting art pieces. And the package art that you were touting from the 80s, the sophisticated painted material, that has been turned into 9-card connecting art pieces, which gives it a very large, powerful feeling to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. I'm not familiar with the like previous Kickstarter or card sets you might have done, but it's suffice to say this has been fairly successful. Is there I don't want to look too far ahead, but would you guys consider doing more Transformers stuff in the future?
Absolutely. The collaboration with Hasbro has been spectacular. I didn't mention it before, but in that 1-year development period, something that they did for us, which we're truly appreciative of, is that they opened up their entire 40-year archive of material. Now, again, we focused on Generation 1 and we focused on 80s material, but I remember passing the material along to the various designers in our art department, and it was like 1-point-something gigabyte. The size of this thing was massive, and all loaded with artwork, all loaded with just all kinds of stuff, molding graphics, just tons of stuff. So yes, there's definitely raw material to create more sets, and it always comes down to the fans. The fans, they've certainly spoken loud and clear that there is a hunger and a desire for these Transformers trading cards. Hopefully everybody gets them. Hopefully everybody cracks open the packs, loves what they're seeing, and that's going to fuel more of it. So yeah, we would definitely love to do more.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love cracking packs. I'll crack packs all day. With working with Hasbro, I mean, this is a Transformers podcast, so I don't want to speak out of turn. But I mean, you do have the other franchises as well. G.I. Joe seems to be making some kind of a resurgence. For whatever reason, My Little Pony kicks everyone's asses every year. So I mean, there's a lot of other franchises in the Hasbro vault there that can really benefit from something like this.
I'm sure Mr. Barucci has some of these things in mind. Whatever the future holds, we will all know together soon enough.
Right on. So I just want to say that you got the Kickstarter as of our recording right now. You're sitting at 17 days left, so you're getting close to the end of it. You don't have. It's not. Like I said at the start, you guys are smashing it right now, so you're doing really well. If anybody watching out there is looking to jump on something that's a guaranteed win, this is it. Like it's already, it's a for sure thing already. So jump in on this. You're right in on the end of this thing right now, so you don't have to wait too long. I see on the page that it's showing as you're expecting to ship November of this year. Is that still on, or are you looking? Is it delayed still?
So, whenever you're dealing with a crowdfunder, there's a process. So you said it yourself, 17 days to go. We're going to reach the 30-day mark, and then the crowdfunder will be considered finished, complete. Then there comes a period of time where the orders are assessed, the credit cards are charged, the bank accounts, whatever the process, it takes about 3 weeks for payments to be verified, for mailing addresses and surveys and all that stuff to be gathered. So there comes a point where all that is finished. And if we're looking at a calendar, at that point, we're now in the month of November. We're in the first week of November, second week of November, whatever it is. But
sure,
by that point in time, we should be complete with all the printing. So it
Good.
should marry up perfectly.
Good. All right. Well, that's fantastic. All right. Well, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, but this has been fantastic. I'm excited about this project. It's ready to rock and roll, and you guys have got the king here. I mean, I don't want to. I'm sorry, Bob. I don't want to embarrass you too much, but
I was going to say enough about me. Let's talk about Bob.
Bob's, I mean, I got a room dedicated to the stuff he started. I mean, it's crazy, right? Like it's nuts. You're responsible for this, Bob.
Mariano's the guy pulling the strings in the background, because I'm just
there. You go,
following orders.
Yeah.
Without your talent, my friend, none of this would be possible. Let's all remember that.
That's right.
From the toys and all the way to the movies, it's all borrowed heavily from things that were created in the comics. So very symbiotic relationship there.
Yeah, you're lucky that my wife doesn't come to the cons with me, or else she'd have some words with you. But no, I'm thrilled that you guys are doing this. I'm very excited that you got both Mr. Budiansky and Furman involved in this. Frankly, in the last couple of years, these two have been joined at the hip, and it's hilarious. I love seeing them at conventions together. So it's great to see them teaming up. They're a great pair. So, I'm very excited about this. I'm excited to see people start getting them in hand. I am heavily involved with the Transformers subreddit, and there's a significant contingent of people on there that will likely get some of these things as well. So I'm sure I'll see a lot of those cards end up on the subreddit of people posting them saying, "Hey, I got this card. Look at this thing." And it'll be very exciting to see when these things start shipping out. So very cool. I'm very excited.
Us too. And very appreciative of the audience and the support that this crowdfunder has gathered. And I want it to keep climbing. I want to give away free stuff. And there's a lot of free stuff in the offing. So let's keep it going. Let's keep the train rolling, and let's keep revealing more and more stretch goals.
Let's do it. We got 17 days left as of right now. Well, then we'll keep pumping away. We'll keep pushing that cart down the street until they absolutely tell you to stop, right? So
exactly.
Let's go. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Mariano from Dynamite, and I don't even need to say it's Bob. It's Mr. Bob.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining me tonight on Transmissions.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay.
Thank you, Darryl. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.